What's up guys, Ulysses here. Today we are talking to shape you. What's up guys, it's Ulisses here. Today we are talking about my fitness journey. Basically how I got started into bodybuilding, how I've been able to do it for so long over the years. So that's what we're going to discuss today. Okay, so another question I got from one of my German fans was, when did I start working out? How was I in high school in terms of, was I athletic? And how did I evolve all of that into bodybuilding, etc. So that's a good question actually. It's actually, I really like that. In terms of high school, I was very athletic. I was just a skinny, ripped kid really, to be honest. Nothing special. I was just, I was very fast. I played soccer, football. I played American football. I ran track and field. So I was fast, but I didn't have the size. I just lacked the gains. So I really got into the weight room to gain some weight, really. My coach used to say, if you want to gain some weight, you got to lift some weights. So it kind of went hand in hand. So I said, you know what? I'll give this weight thing a try, really. For me, I was like, okay, I'll go lift some weight. I was really weak, to be honest. But for me, I saw the guys that would go in and day out and train in the gym at school, in high school, and those were the big jocks, the guys that were the quarterbacks, played big football, American football, and they got all the girls. So it's quite simple to put one and one together to get two. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be in the gym, I'm gonna train. For me, it wasn't about getting girls, it was just gaining some size. I was always pushed around in terms of when you go on the field to play, whether it was American football, you get hit by a guy that's twice your size. You wake up with stars. So I was like, I got tired of that, you know. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna train, and I'm just gonna try to gain some size. So that's what I did. And for me, I never thought about bodybuilding. I wasn't one of those kids that had bodybuilding magazines and was looking at it or nothing. I actually stumbled upon bodybuilding, to be honest. So I just started working out in high school. I gained the size. In 6 months, I saw a difference, and I was like, wow, this is quite nice. And you know what they say, once you see results, it becomes addictive. So that's what happened to me. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna stop then. This is quite nice. I like what I'm seeing, and I'm just gonna keep it going. So I just kept training. And back then I didn't have like splits, you know, what to train, what not to train, what to move around, how to train. It was just going there wanting to do chest and arms. The typical stuff that your high school 16, 17-year-old kid want to do. They just want bigger chest, bigger arms. They didn't care about legs, they didn't care about back, because they used to be like, girls are not looking at your legs and back, you know. But now the girls are more advanced. They'll check you out, make sure you have some legs, so it's different. But back then, it was just chest and arms. And the results came in, so I was like, wow. So I wanted to learn more. I mean, progressed from high school going to college. I wanted to learn more about the physique. Then I became more fascinated, like, wow, if you can change your physique like this in a year or two in high school, I could just keep this going. And I liked it, and I was seeing results. So I wanted to learn about it. Hence, I got the education about exercise physiology, learning about the body, learning what you need to do, learning how to train properly. I mean, young guys, we all just like to lift some heavy weights and go crazy in the gym. But there are times you need to, when you're looking to learn about something and teach others, you have to learn proper form and what to do. So, you know, sometimes the beast comes out and I train and my form is not that great. That's fine. I excuse myself for that. But there are times when you train your client, it's totally different. So I learned about the body. I learned about what I need to do and how to train properly. And I think that aided me in going into bodybuilding and training and just being smart about training and learning how to train properly and also training your physique so it's more balanced and proportionate. So that helped me a lot. All right, so with my training, I met a group of guys that we used to do a lot of fashion show and magazine stuff in New York. And this part is just about how I got into bodybuilding, just briefly. And I believe we were called the City Gym Boys. And I think they still recruit guys and do it to this day in New York. But I joined them, and the guys with City Gym boys were big guys into bodybuilding. Like half of the group were properly into bodybuilding. So they were like, you know, you have good genetics, you should try to do a show, check it out. So I was like, oh, I don't know, it's not for me. I just like training, you know. But we all made a pact that we were gonna do the show and see who win, because there's a lot of trash talk with the guys. So I was like, fine. I was always the smallest one in the group anyway. So it was good. I learned from some of the guys how to pose, what to do. That's when I started, because of that show, I started looking into bodybuilding and guys that obviously have won titles, Arnold, you know, Sergio Olivo, all these guys, Serge Nubret, all these guys that were icons in bodybuilding. I wanted to see, okay, that's how they train, that's how they pose. Learning posing, I started looking at old tapes of Frank Zane, stuff with, like, some of you might know, like Ed Corney. I mean, these guys were master posers that were really good, and I used to just study it. It's not looking at tapes like that and mimicking their pose. It's actually looking at it and assessing your physique and seeing, okay, that pose works for him, but it doesn't work for my physique. So how can I tailor that pose to work for me? That's what I did with my physique. It wasn't trying to, okay, Arnold posed fantastic. Some of the poses he does wouldn't work for me. He has a huge chest. So certain pose that he would do would not match my style of physique. So if you're smart, what you'll do is you will figure out how you can do that pose or fix that pose to work for you. And it doesn't have to be exactly the pose that he did. You can tailor make it to fit your physique. And that's what I've done with a lot of my classic posing that I do. It's a lot of golden era old school, but some of it's just my own way of posing that accentuates my physique a lot more, and it's totally different. So I studied those tapes and I learned from that, and I actually did the show with the guys in New York, and I won the whole show. It was, I believe it was a show in Queens called Platinum Classic. It was an NPC show. That's when I didn't know anything about bodybuilding, NPC, different leagues, different that. I just went in and did a small show in Queens, and it was probably 100 competitors or so, and I ended up winning the whole show. I won the novice, I think it was welterweight. I wasn't even a middleweight then. Welterweight, I won the novice division. They let me do the open. I won the open. I won the novice overall. I won the open overall. I just won the whole show. I was just ecstatic. I was like, wow. I was like, yo. And I just got all these mean stares from all these proper bodybuilders who are looking at me like, who's this kid? Like, why do they like him? Like, what the hell? And they just thought I was too scrawny to win anything. I mean, I was okay, but I didn't have the gains, basically. That's what they said. But I think the judges saw my posing and saw how I presented myself, my dedication in terms of being really shredded and dry for the show. And they awarded me the trophy. And I guess size comes with time. So they just told me to just keep training, and it worked out really well. So that's how I got into bodybuilding. Once I got that fire behind me of winning that show, I was like, okay, every year I'm gonna do a show. For me, that was my motivation at the time. Every year I wanted to do a show to see how I progress from one year to the other. Because in the game of life, forget bodybuilding, in the game of life, it's all about progression. You wanna be better. You wanna be better. We've evolved as human beings. And that's progression. We all want to get better, whether you believe in evolution, whether you believe in whatever. It's all about the human race getting better and better and better. So every year I wanted to do a show and see how I could progress from one year to the other and look better. And I think at the time, that's what motivated me. And then people started giving me a lot of compliments, like, you have great genetics or great physique and great dedication. You should utilize that. And I was like, you know what? I'm not only just going to be a trainer to train people and educate them about training, but for myself, I want to push myself and see gains and see progress every year. So at the time, that's what motivated me, and I just kept going. I just felt like that fire is not gonna burn out. It's just gonna keep going. So I mean that's just being real, and that's what I did all through the years. I've been training way over 20 years now. So I'm a dinosaur, but it's all good. I like to motivate, I like to inspire, I like to teach people, and whatever way I can do that and whatever tips I can give to people, I mean, you know, I'm more than happy to do that freely. now in terms of motivation, doing it 20 years or more, it's hard to stay motivated for 20 years and keep training and keep doing all this stuff. But I think, again, we evolve with time and things change. Back then, it was just meeting fans in the gym. And but now that with social media, you get emails from your fans, you get, you know, pictures, messages, I mean, whatever. It's so many ways you can have engagement with fans and people that you inspire. So for me now, what motivates me, number one, is my family, my kids, really. I see them, they're young, and they're so enthusiastic about training, you know, and we do a lot of body weight stuff, push-ups at home. So for me, it's just making sure, you know, seeing them motivates me every day to just go out there and do what I do. That's one. The other thing that motivates me is obviously the fan base. I mean, a lot of my fans, the emails I get from fans, and sometimes I'm just walking the street and someone would stop me and just be like, yo, I've checked out your videos, I sent you an email and you replied back. And, you know, and I'm even surprised because I get thousands of emails. So when I get that, sometimes I'm happy. I'm like, yes, you know, that email that I stayed up and answered made a difference. But yeah, so I think the fans motivate me because I see how genuinely they're inspired about what I do. And for me, you know, it's satisfying. I think the greatest achievement you can say someone can get is to learn something and be good at it and be able to pass it on or inspire others to do that same thing. So I think, you know, just being able to inspire some people, it gives me satisfaction. So I'm quite pleased with that. And because of that, I think I'll continue to do that over and over and over and over. So for me, my family, my fans, the people that are close to me, my wife and kids, you know, they all keep me going, to motivate me and to keep doing what I'm doing. And I can see that in people's faces when I meet them. You know, I can sit down and have a chat with them and they tell me about, oh, I tried this, you had made a tip about doing that and it made a difference. And also even people that I help that are doing contests and prep, people that are doing posing. I meet with them sometimes, I give them a hand, I give them a tip, I work with them a few times, and it just makes a difference. You know, if you can improve someone's lifestyle or improve someone's life or inspire them to be better, I think for me that's a good achievement. I'll take that any day. But I just want to thank the fans for all of their support, really, because without the fans and without my team, without my family, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So I am super grateful, I'm humble, and you know, and I thank everyone that lend their support out to me, and I'll continue to do what I'm doing currently, and continue to inspire and help others. Okay guys, I hope I've answered some of your questions. I'm going to be doing some more Q&A in the future, so please watch out for me at ulyssesworld.com. Also follow me on Instagram at ulyssesworld. Also follow Shape You. You know, big thanks to Shape You for bringing this interview because I really want to reach out to my fans in Germany. I hope you guys like it. Make sure you check me out on my website, on my YouTube, Ulysses World, on Instagram, Ulysses World, and Facebook, Ulysses. All right, guys? Thanks so much for the support. I'll see you soon. Peace.